First of all, thank you so much for sitting with Good News Jamaica.
Come on, tell me the good news in Jamaica. Other than why is it taking 3 hours to get into the country? It's all right because I'm starting with my sorrel, so I'm fine.
Excellent. So you are on, I hope you have a little something, a tip in there just to make
Oh
it
my
nice.
God. The white rum, baby.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. So thank you very much for sitting down with Good News Jamaica.
Thank you.
I know that you had.
I'm glad that you're doing something positive about Jamaica because, you know, I'm really so sick and tired of everybody carrying the negative vibe or the negative image. Somebody said to me, but why do you like Jamaica so much?
What?
Yeah, man. And I had to say, have you seen the people?
You see?
We're so beautiful. We're so pretty.
Yeah.
I said, have you tasted the food? It is so delicious. I said, compare it to any other island you have ever been to.
True.
With food, the nicest.
True. True.
And then I said to them, have you heard our music? The one music that you all other islands trying to copy and claim as yours.
True.
Right. So there, that's why I love Jamaica.
And what is so interesting, I mean, you were born in Connecticut, spent some time in Jamaica. How much time you spent in Jamaica?
Half and half.
And the anchor to Jamaica was basically the culture, or was it that your mommy said, no, man, you must be raised partly in Jamaica?
Oh, absolutely. There was no way for me not to have roots and connection. You know, having a dual heritage and being Black and in the United States of America, you know, there were people in your education that might want to put limits on you because of your color. It was the fact that, wow, you need to travel more. You need to see the world because I've already seen Black people do amazing things.
Absolutely.
You know, and that for me was great.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I had the pleasure of growing up a little bit in the States. And so I've been watching you from long time. The Moesha and the Dream Girls and the this and the that. And proud of you, can't done. That is said and done.
Thank you.
But the recent thing I was introduced to was your AIDS Foundation. You have a show, is it an annual show called
30 years annual.
30 years.
Yes.
It's the first time I'm hearing about it. Please tell me about it because it just happened on the 5th, yeah?
Yes, it just happened December 5th. We were televised on KTLA, which is a super station, part of Next Star Media. In fact, you could have seen it in Jamaica, but I've been producing this for the past 30 years to raise awareness around HIV and AIDS. As a original company member of Dreamgirls on Broadway, you know, it was a horrible time to see how unkind people could have been 30 years ago to people who were different, you know, gay people, trans people, you know, it was horrible. And then, you know, for them to fall victim to the AIDS crisis, you know, America and the world couldn't have taken more time to tell this group of people how much they hated them. And the little church girl in me said, oh no, we can do better than this. I learned nothing like this in church. So I set about to forever raise up awareness to let people know that no matter what you thought of these people, they were good people, they were kind people, they were somebody's father, sister, brother, mother, friend. They just happened to have HIV or AIDS. And so 30 years ago, I started calling up my girlfriends and I said, hey, come join me on the stage. Come join me, the light, the mic, and you, the diva, simply singing. And it was simple because we couldn't afford anything more. We couldn't afford a band. It was just too much money. You know, the first year that I did this, it took me 3 months to put it all together. So I was just working off of passion and adrenaline and the need to find a healing. I never ever thought that I'd be doing it 30 years later, never. And there were then along the way, there have been so many people who've said, oh, you don't need to do that anymore. It's not this, it's not that. Well, Charles, you would never believe it, but I was doing an interview with a big network, and they said, you know, don't mention AIDS. I mean, just talk about life-threatening diseases. And I was like,
Wow.
wow, this is why we continue to do the work.
That's right.
This is why it's important.
Absolutely. And I mean, I really take my hat off to you, if I had one on, for the work that you're doing, because it is, no matter what people are saying, it's still the boats, it's still a play. And people are still very, very, very negatively impacted by this disease.
Oh, absolutely.
And it is important for us to just because COVID is here, doesn't mean it's going to take the place of AIDS. And so COVID has a vaccine, AIDS does not.
How about that?
How about
I mean,
that?
look at what happened. The world just said, oh no, we need a vaccine for this virus.
Yeah.
And when it was AIDS, they were like, oh, those people, them, the bottom men, them, them girl, them, no. And oh my God, it was so horrible, horrible.
Yeah.
You know?
And it kind of makes me feel sad, because it makes me see that it's really a business. This you know, the fact that they won't just find a vaccine for AIDS, because I mean, now they have a drug, you take one pill and they advertise that you can now have sex and it won't be transmitted and all these things. It's unfortunate, because
very unfortunate. And even though the number of medication, you know, I've had friends that used to have to take like 87 pills a week.
Wow.
Now it's down very much, you know, their pill load, their medication, it's down. The number that they take is way down, but some of the symptoms that they live with, they're not gone. You know, sometimes, you know, you'll see people take PrEP and they develop like a belly, you know, and it's very interesting. It's not pretty. It's just not pretty.
So you have been doing this concert, like you said, for 30 years and impacting many lives. But what is the aim of each concert? Is it that you have a steady foundation that you give to, or a charitable thing that you give to, or is it that each concert has a theme that the concert supports? It's
always been, I call it a living, breathing memorial in remembrance of all those that we lost, you know, in the past. But now, you know, since we've opened our umbrella to cover other life-threatening diseases, you know, people are dying, especially people of color. High blood pressure for us is through the roof. Heart disease for us, through the roof. Diabetes for us, through the roof. Cancers, all kinds of cancers for us, through the roof. COVID-19 for us, through the roof. So for me, it's about forever raising awareness, forever letting people of color know that you matter. You are important. And I need you to recognize how important you are, because your health is your greatest wealth. And too many of us don't appreciate it until it's gone. And we're like that because we don't value ourselves. So my whole thing is to let you know, hey, we are up here doing all of this for you. We are singing for you. We are raising awareness for you. We're going to help you, you know, when you are in a time of need. And, you know, that's just what we do.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you for it, and hope you continue to do that for many, many more years.
It's so funny, you know, everybody was saying, and here's to 30 more years.
Exactly.
And I was like,
exactly. 30 more. That's right. 30 more years. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put 42 on there. That's
oh my God.
42 more years, because that would mean that your legacy has been passed on, which is a beautiful thing, right?
Thank you. Yes.
So,
It's so interesting this year, you know, I was working with my children. My daughter hosted the opening of the pre-show. She did the first hour on the internet. So she did that. And then my son did, you know, shot many of the interviews and edited them. And I was like, oh my God, you know, so
in other words, you're pleased by boss.
yes.
So we're gonna give you some questions about Jamaica.
Yes.
What is your favorite thing to do in Jamaica?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I love that answer.
Right.
I love that answer. When you go there, you just want to chill.
That's it. That's it.
Beach?
I love the beach.
Beach or river? Pick one.
I love the beach.
Beach or
I
river?
love the beach. The beach.
All right. Rum? There is nothing else. Forget it.
I was just about ready to say,
all right. When you come to Jamaica, do you go out and party, or do you just stay in the house?
I stay in.
Okay. Do you have any projects happening in Jamaica?
I wish I did. I wish I did.
Okay.
But it all takes time. You know, we're such an artistic people, but we don't have a respect for the arts. It's like just something we do. You know, we don't foster the arts the way we should, because we have world-class talent, but we don't take care of our talent. We don't train our talent. We don't build up our talent the way we might, you know, athletes.
Okay. What do you think it would take for that to happen?
Money and the acknowledgement that the arts are important. You know, too many times our artists have to go away and leave the country to make it. Mm-hmm. And that to me is sad and difficult. You know, I'm all about supporting and helping young artists. It's important. That's why I created the Jamaican Film Festival back in the day, to give artists an outlet. And what was so fascinating to me over the past 10 years is to be in the world and have a young person come up to me and say, you know, I started at Jamaica and I was there, or you gave me a break, and I'm like, wow, that's why you do it.
Right. You have a desire to go back to theater. I know Broadway was your springboard. So you have a desire to go back into theater?
There's always a desire to go back to the theater. In fact, I'm producing part of a production team of a new piece called Thoughts of a Colored Man, and that we're hoping to get this piece, you know, launched and ready to go when COVID is finally cleared away and Broadway can open back up. I love producing, you know, I love being a part of bringing all of the pieces together to make it happen. You know, I love doing that. Acting, I love acting, but you know, acting and singing and dancing on stage, on Broadway, that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of stamina. That takes a lot of everything that you've got, which is why most artists sleep all day, then they work all night, then they take the early mornings to come down so that they can get up and get ready to do it all again. It's rough. I don't know if I want to do that again. And if I did, it would have to be for the absolute right role.
Right. I understand that. Well, I am very thankful that you were able to sit with me and have this conversation. Well, keep positive, keep safe, and keep healthy, please. And keep on doing what you do. We really are proud of you. And every time we hear Sheryl Lee Ralph, we must smile, because that smile where you have, everybody notices it. Everybody notices it. There's two things you notice. Sheryl Lee Ralph, big smile, and Sheryl Lee Ralph, red lips. End of story. That's it.
Oh my God.
That's it. You
it's
know.
It's the truth.
Yeah, and your energy is just so
it's
perfect. So thank you so much for everything.
Thank you. You know what? The whole thing about the energy, I think it's like my life battery is to keep my energy going.
Nice.
To keep, I think that's why my mother lasted so long in life. She kept her energy going. And for me, that's part of it too, is to just keep moving forward. Anyway, tell your people, follow me on social media.
Yeah.
My Instagram is Cheryl with an S, the Sheryl Lee Ralph at Instagram, and the Sheryl Ralph. When I started, they didn't have enough characters, so I had to drop the Lee, but it's the Sheryl Ralph on Twitter. So follow me.
Well,
That's
thanks
right.
again.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Of course you can.
I want to encourage everybody who is coming down to Jamaica, if you can spend the $50 or $60 to pick up an Android tablet, you are for sure going to find a child in Jamaica who needs an Android tablet for distanced learning.
True.
And I've been saying this for years. If we do not close the digital gap on island, we will be left behind. And if we do not include everybody in closing the digital gap, the gap between the haves and the have-nots will become wider, and that is unacceptable. It's unacceptable, because that's how people get hurt. That's how people get robbed, and that's how violence starts to rise. So spend the $60, bring an extra Android. Why an Android? Because if you buy a Fire, because you can get an Amazon Fire for $30, $40, it's not going to work unless the kid has an Amazon account. So you have to get an Android so they can put that, when we put the card, the SIM card.
The SIM card, yes.
Right, you put the SIM card in it so they can use it on island. So I would encourage everybody, if you tithe, if you make donations, bring some tablets on the island and make sure these children get access to education.
Perfect. All right, take care. One love.
And I see you back.
All right, easy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.